What up, YouTube? I want to give you a really quick review of the Gasmate Voyager. If you're looking at this, you're probably looking at buying one. You can get it branded as the Gasmate Voyager. Kings or 4-wheel drive Super Centre have got their own Kings branded one, and it's exactly the same. It comes in a box, yay big, and has everything you need to build it, which, yeah, it comes unassembled, which wasn't that impressed with. But anyway, built it, comes with these two tools. This is useless, screwdriver's good, but to replace this, just get yourself 8mm and 10mm socket. Makes it 10 times faster to build. Pros, so the legs, they fold in underneath, which really reduces its form factor when you're traveling, which is essentially what the BBQ's for, is portability. I also like the way these snap on to the lid, which stops the lid from flapping around when you're traveling. The handles are pretty sturdy. The temp gauge is good. It's just done a little test with it, and yeah, it's quite accurate out of the box. What else? This thing that I like, how the ignition is built in. You pretty much just push it in and turn it, and that lights it, which I'll show you in a minute. And overall, its price, you're looking at an $80 barbecue. Pretty good. All right, the stuff I hate. One was the tool that it came with. That really annoyed me. Two, the back hinges, they're really thin. They're like flimsy. So when this opens, it feels like this is not, it's not solid, man. Like you feel a Weber when you lift the lid. It's heavy, and when it gets to here, it just stops. This thing here is just flapping around. It's no good. I didn't like the option to only have this combination. I'd have rather two of these, but that's life. And what else? Oh, the holes at the back, they're pretty large. They let a lot of heat out. So I understand that due to gas regulations, you do have to have ventilation like that, but those holes are massive. They're, so the efficiency brings the efficiency right down. But all in all, I reckon it's good for the price. For a sub $100 barbecue, pretty good. The main thing I want to see as well is what the temperature sits on at the low setting and what it sits on at the high setting. There is, as you can see, sort of 4 settings there. But yeah, I'm interested in what the full low setting temperature is and what the high one is, so I'll show you that in a sec. All right, so I'm just gonna light it up. It's pretty cool. Just make sure the gas bottle's on. And yeah, you just push it in, turn, and that's it, it lights, no fuss. You don't have to do it 20 times like some barbecues. It's pretty good. So I'm going to set it on lowest setting. I'm going to shut the lid. Actually, before it gets warm, I want to show you one thing. So these are the standard aluminium containers that everyone uses. One annoying thing, you're running a roast, you want roast veggies, right? You got your 2 in there, you'd think it'd fit. Doesn't fit, lid doesn't shut. What you have to do is that you actually have to bend these up into some kind of shape before you can actually get it to close, and even then it's not fully closed, so that sucks. You can only run one, basically, or a big one, which changes the way you're cooking, which I just wanted to be able to run these, but anyway, something that might interest you. Alright, I'll come back when this is sitting at a stable temperature. Okay, so it's been sitting on low for a little while, and in terrible light. Oh, there we go. So yeah, it's sitting on about 280 Fahrenheit, which is 140 Celsius. Not a bad low temp, especially if you like roasting and that. Most, a low temp would be about 160 or something if you're doing a 3-hour roast. I would really like it to sit on about 120, 110, 120, which would be about 250 Fahrenheit, just because I use one of those smoker tubes in it. So yeah, it's probably a little high for my liking, because I want to be able to run it as a sort of a portable smoker. I know that's not its real function, but anyway. Now I'll turn it up to high and come back again, see what the high setting is. Okay, so been sitting on the highest setting for a while, and we're looking at about 250, maybe 260 Celsius, 500 Fahrenheit, which is basically pork crackle sort of temp, which is good. You can do a roast, you can definitely do beef and that kind of thing. So the high temp's good, you can roast in it, which is a little interesting because when you look at the flame, it doesn't look like it's really pumping out of much of a flame, but anyway, it gets up to temp even with those gigantic holes at the back. One last thing, this is the fat tray. So that hole you can see through there is supposed to be where the fat drips through. Now that slides in there. You think they could make it a bit bigger? If you do a roast, that's going to be chockers. So yeah, that could be much larger, or you could just leave it like that. Put another aluminium tray under it, and that'll work as well. Anyway, I'm on the fence. I kind of want to give it a thumbs up because it's so damn cheap, but at the same time, the lid could be heavier, plus all the other things I mentioned before. But anyway, not too bad. I wouldn't write it off. And portability wise, it's really cool because the legs fold up, which makes it really small form factor. All your other ones, what are some of the other ones? Ziegler and Brown, and the BBQ, the legs, they're still bulky, even once everything's packed up and you've got them side table things, which is a little bit unnecessary, I think. I mean, who really uses them? Usually you've got them on a table like this, and you prepare the food somewhere else and bring it to it. But anyway, that's the Gasmate Voyager. Just some things after the fact with the Gasmate Voyager as well. I'll just show you now. So travelling with it was pretty good. The legs, fold up. These things hold the lid on, which a lot of barbecues lack that. They don't have anything to hold the lid down, because we store ours in one of these boxes here that could potentially move around because we usually pack pretty light. But just something I've noticed after the fact as well is you find that heat really pours out. You've got this square here of or a rectangle here of plate, and then the rest is just open grill, and the heat absolutely pours out around the edge of this this rectangle and pretty much burns everything that's around the outside of it. And then there's a real uneven cooking heat difference between when you've got something out here and when you've got something here, and again when you've got something right on that border, because that's where it's super hot there. I mean, you can work around it, I sort of just kind of try and keep everything out of that zone, out of this zone going around the edge, but yeah, I don't know, leaves a lot to be desired. I've used it a couple of times. I think I'm just going to buy a different barbecue, to be honest, but it's not too bad for the price. Like I said, under $100. Anyway, thanks for watching.